Hey everyone, how are you doing? Today we're gonna do some overseeding in spring. It's already May, it's May 1st, and I was planning on getting this done closer to the beginning of April. But every time I checked the forecast for the next few days, there was gonna be another overnight low in about 30 to 32 degrees through the whole month of April. It's been terrible. So I've been putting this off and putting this off, and now it looks like finally we will not have any cold temps like that will kill any new grass that starts growing. So we can go ahead and overseed this area and get that done. So what I've got here is this back 15,000 square feet of the yard. This was all overseeded last year with the perennial rye and bluegrass. And from about here, you can kind of see where I've been turning around with the mower to go back that way. Haven't mowed this much. But right about here is where I stopped fertilizing. I also put down a crabgrass preventer about a month and a half ago and stopped it about here. So I don't want to be overseeding anywhere where I put that down or it won't grow. But we're going to overseed this area with perennial rye right now, because it starts growing quickly and will hopefully help to choke out some of these weeds that are still here. I still have a bunch of clover I've been battling with over the last couple years. There's a bunch of nimblewill in here, which is what's still brown. Looks like my efforts to kill that nimblewill have been going pretty well. Last year, you know, I made a couple applications of tenacity in the fall, and it looks like it did a pretty good job. What's growing in now is pretty much all grass. Hopefully that nimblewill doesn't come back in, but I figure if we overseed it, that'll help prevent that from happening. Now before you overseed, especially in the spring, you want to make sure your soil temperatures are high enough that you'll be able to germinate. So 50, 55 degrees. So let's check that. What I've got here is just a regular old meat thermometer, and I'll just stick that in the ground and see what the temps are. All right, we're about 56 degrees just under the surface. If we push it in further, all right, we're about 55.5 degrees at 4 inches down, so that should be about perfect. Make sure you wash that meat thermometer before you put it back in the drawer. So first thing we have to do is cut this down really nice and low. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll bring out the equipment. I've got a tow behind spreader and an aerator that we're going to use, and then we'll overseed. Okay, well, now that we've got this mowed down, now that we've got this mowed down nice and low, I can definitely see a lot more of the clover that's been growing over here. And the reason I wanted to chop this down as low as I could before overseeding is so that the grass that is growing here doesn't grow tall too quickly, maybe even stressing it a little bit by doing that, because I haven't mowed back here yet this year. So this has all just been slowly kind of trying to grow. But maybe doing that, giving a little bit of stress to that grass, it's going to keep it from growing as quickly, and the new grass seed will germinate and be able to grow through it. So this area here closer to the woods, you can definitely see a lot more bare spots. And last year I'd overseeded up to about here, right? And this looks pretty good. We're gonna try to make this all look better. So the next step is to get the toe behind aerator, bring that over here and punch some holes in this ground. All right, guys, we got the portion of the yard aerated. Got it dug up pretty good. Went around this way, then this way, and made quite a little mess. So we've got a lot of nice holes and a lot of dirt on top that'll melt in as it rains the next few days. That's another reason I wanted to do this today. Pretty much all week this week, there's a good chance of rain, and not a whole lot of rain, just enough to keep it wet and good temperatures in the 50s to 60s and lows in the 40s. So it should be really good. Keep it moist, keep it wet, and it'll grow in. So the next step here is to put the grass seed down, and I've also got some starter fertilizer. So what I've got here is from Tractor Supply, Groundwork brand Perennial Ryegrass seed mixture, 50 pounds. And let's see, here are the stats on it. It does have 0.03% of weed seeds, but you know what? We've already got a bunch of weeds in this piece of the property anyway, so I don't think that's going to be enough to worry about. After I get the seed down, we're going to put some starter fertilizer. This is also from Tractor Supply, Groundwork brand. And this will cover 15,000 square feet. The seed will actually cover 35,000. So I'm going to have some left over from that because I've got about 15,000 to do. So I'll put a little extra down, and then I'll bag the rest up in Ziploc bags and save it for the fall. And we'll redo this portion and some of this to get it all blend in a little better. Should work out pretty good. Let's get this stuff put in the hopper. right, that went pretty well. I basically just went around multiple times back and forth in both directions, and got some pretty good coverage, it looks like. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to put in the starter fertilizer now, and I'm going to put that down, and then we'll water it in. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm in northern Indiana, up near Lake Michigan, so northwest Indiana. And you know, it's funny, in this little section that we're in over here, no matter what they forecast, we could get some rain. So just the same, we might not. So after we get this fertilizer down, we're gonna set up some sprinklers and water this in. So let's try some fertilizer. Now the prill size on this isn't very big, and I think I'm gonna set this a little further than I did with the seed. Got that stuff down now, spread out pretty nicely. That's what I have left in the hopper. We'll just kind of throw that out by hand a little bit, then maybe dump it off to the side. But next step, we'll be setting up some hoses and watering, just in case Mother Nature decides to let us down. Let's see. There we go. I missed that sound, guys. I've got that gear drive one out there, but I'll tell you what, if that thing ever breaks, because it's got a plastic stem, so I actually don't think it's going to last as long as one of these. When that thing breaks though, I'll be replacing it with one of these because I like the sound. Listen to that. Isn't that great? Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you learned something. So click like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing more things like this with our lawn and all over the property and inside and outside. So check it all out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.